procrastinate or to not procrastinate. Now I'm saying. I basically woken up from a decade of hibernation. I'm finally here. I told myself, let me put on my big boy pants. I want to make a Mugen train review, so
I'm going to, okay?
So, before I talk about season 2, I have to address the elephant in the room. The Giants' mess UFO table made after season 1 of Demon Slayer. They were doing really well. I don't know who possessed them to introduce Gaara right at the end of the Mugen Train movie. Not to mention kind of put people out of the loop who are fans of the show, forcing them to watch a movie and thereby making season 2 make less sense if they didn't participate in the movie. It's just crazy, man. I'll get back to that. But season 2 starts off on a different note, or at least continues in a different note. We see a new setting, we see the entertainment district and some of the architecture. It's a whole different ballgame for the team, and they have to act more in accordance with a plan than solo. So in as much as previously they weren't exactly loose cannons, they also didn't have a formalized plan. But I think at this point what makes a good animation is a great graphics and animation and a good storyline. With that, you can craft any kind of masterpiece at all within the medium. The tonal dissonance threw me off, if I'm being really honest. There were a bit too much hijinks going on. Lord Tengen was a bit of a clown, and the three were just kind of fluffing around. Yeah, let me say fluffing around. It didn't really gel well with their characters. It seemed like they were trying to do that to kind of ease the tension after Rengoku's murder by Gaara. I know he's called Akasa, but I'm not going to give him that respect. We call him that. Nah, they did us dirty with that whole thing, and it was just the beginning kind of threw me off. I think it's part of why I procrastinated with my review. But we see the team acting in a different dynamic altogether. They're a bit out of sorts, and I think the writers were trying to ease us into the dynamic of season 2. I think Inosuke shone the most, but regardless, it's like they had to prioritize the development of certain characters over others in order to make the show work because of time constraints, and probably I don't know how much the budget was affected because the animation is fine and the writing is still pretty good. I'm not trying to flatter the studio or anything, but they did a pretty good job. But all in all, Inosuke really shines in this one. He leans into his perceptiveness and his rowdiness, because even though they're undercover, this isn't really working for him. And yeah, Tanjiro has his hunches. He's able to suss out that something is wrong in the environment, but none of them are able to really pin where the demon could be or what's going on. So I think it's really nice that they put that spotlight on Inosuke, even showing his physical abilities and his instincts as the show goes on. He's able to actually locate the demon nest, find a few of the people that were captured, and he basically sets a lot of stuff in motion. If not for him, a lot more people would have been captured, a lot more would have been eaten before the team even recognized what was going on, and I'm really happy about that. I'm happy that he gets his 15 minutes in the spotlight, because he does deserve it. I mean, he's fighting hard in this one, and he basically is able to remind us all why we're here. I'm going to talk about villains for a little bit. In this season, they do a good job of establishing the hierarchy again. We've already dealt with slightly less dangerous demons, but now there is this one who has this powerful ability to merge with her environment and blend in, as she's portraying herself as an Oiran, but she's also actively abducting people, causing disappearances within the community, and committing a lot of murder. So even though she's a pretty little Oiran, she's oppressing and abusing the younger girls. She's psychologically abusing the owners of the establishments, and even goes as far as killing one. She's eating these people to become stronger and crueler and increase her power as a demon. But even as the sick, we are still reminded of the power of the great demon Michael Jackson. Yeah, I just had to. But basically we know that even though she's strong, Mizan Kibutsuchi is stronger, and the stakes are higher because the team is getting closer and closer to the main goal of defeating him as the big boss baddie. All in all, season 2 has a lot of nice different surprises. They show more of Lord Tengen's relationships with his wives. Nezuko also has a part to play in defending Tanjiro again, but in general, everyone seems to be getting stronger. I think with season 2, Zenitsu, yeah, that's his name, Carrot Top. Zenitsu is more into his sleeper mode, and I think the writers use that as a plot device to distract from how they couldn't really give him a growth arc. His growth is more, what's the word I'm looking for? It's more subtle. He's trying to defend the younger girls in the entertainment district from the abuse of the older people there. And so that's a subtle thing, although he's asleep for most of the story, where that's a plot device for his usefulness. Inosuke is just generally kicking ass and becoming more in tune with how to fight demons and how to suss them out, how to break their spells. And Nezuko also makes some really nice introduction in the show. Even without eating any humans, she's become really tough, a very tough competitor, like level 6 demon type of strength, all without eating people. So I think in general it was a pretty well done show. I still think Ufotable should not have made Mugen Train a part of season 2 at all. It should have been its own standalone season. It should not have been a movie, so that things would be less confusing for all of us who are invested in the show, rather than those who didn't get the chance to watch the movie being forced to deal with the kind of disconnect created right at the beginning of a really good season. So that's something I have a gripe with Ufotable about. The movie was apparently pulled for tax reasons according to the internet, but whatever the case is, Demon Slayer season 2 really is worth its weight in salt. Go check it out. I think you'll have a lot of fun watching. Thanks for seeing this video.